Hi guys, I'm the Dutch Movie Guy, and today I'm reviewing Star Wars Rebels Season 3, Episode 4, or is it 5? I'm not sure. Anyway, Hera's Heroes. I'm honestly confused with the episode numbers because initially the first long episode of 40-something minutes was Episode 1. So then you had 2 with the Holocrons of Faith. 3 is last week's episode, and this should be the 4th. And now they changed the episodical number to 1, 2, 3, 4, and this should be 5 or something. I'm not sure. I'm calling it episode 4. I'm just going with that, and that's what I'm gonna do. Anyway, I'm reviewing all the episodes of Star Wars Rebels Season 3. If this is your first time watching, I already reviewed the other episodes of this season and the other seasons before. They're up on my channel if you want to see them. So, this week's episode, Hera's Heroes, is about Cham Syndulla actually joining the Ghost crew with his crew, and they're going on a mission together, what I expected them to do. And what they're doing is something on Ryloth where Hera and Ezra have to go into their house, the house of Cham and Hera Syndulla, where there is something that they need to retrieve. However, when they are retrieving it, Thrawn shows up and shit goes down. As always, I start off with listing the good things, then the bad things, then what I think about next week, and then I'll finish up my review. So let's start with the good things. I really like this episode. I thought it was great. Right from the beginning of the episode, we get into an action scene where we see Cham and his people running away from the Imperials, and they get picked up by the Ghost crew, and I love Cham Syndulla as a character. That's also a reason why I like Hera so much. I know Cham from the Clone Wars and from Lords of the Sith, which is a fantastic book. You should read it. It's more of a character study for Cham if you want to know a little bit more about him. He was great in that book. He already was pretty good in the Clone Wars, and he still continues to be a nice character. I always like it when he shows up. Because in this case, he is the father of Hera, and it makes for a little bit more of a personal story. This episode was more personal for Hera herself than we've seen before. Like, yeah, you had the episode where she explains about her piloting skills, why she's such a good pilot. But this was like her family. This was talking about her mother and her father and how Hera was as a young kid. And the big thing about that is that Thrawn knows that. Thrawn, when he was interrogating Hera, I just knew, like, yeah, Thrawn knows who she is, and that interrogation was tense. I was like, holy crap, what is going to happen? That was awesome. Thrawn is so great so far in this season. He's not been in it a lot before this episode. This was his actual introduction where you see more of his character, that he studies the philosophy, he studies the art of a species, and by doing that he understands their battle tactics and whatnot. It's awesome how they are able to portray that onto the big screen. I just read about his character. I knew, like, oh, I kind of know what he does, but the way they're able to put it on screen is fantastic. The voice of Thrawn, the brother of Matt Mikkelsen, I believe, is fantastic as his voice. It's really ominous, really menacing. He really is a great villain. Just based on these 2 episodes of Rebels where we've seen him, it's like, yeah, this guy's awesome. I also really love his theme. They made a musical score for him that they always do in Star Wars because it's Star Wars and that's what they've been doing from the first movie. But of course the question is, when they make a theme for a person, him or herself, the question is, does it work with the character? My god, that Thrawn theme is fantastic. It's really ominous. You really feel that is a bad guy, and it's just great. What I also really liked about this episode, it pairs up Ezra with Hera. We haven't really seen those two on a mission together. We've seen all kinds of other combinations, but Ezra and Hera, this was really the first time, and they worked quite well, I'd say. And then you also get Chopper in the episode, and it's a nice callback that you have the Y-Wing that Hera crashed where she learned Chopper. I'm not sure if that was explained in either Rebels or the New Dawn novel. Either way, it was a nice callback for if you've seen the previous episodes or if you've read the book. I think that's really all the good parts I can say. Now for the bad things, there aren't a whole lot, but one thing that is really obvious in all these episodes of Rebels, whenever there are stormtroopers and they're shooting, they just can't hit anyone. Not anyone, anything. It's like, Jesus Christ. Already in the original trilogy is like one of the biggest complaints. In Rebels it's even worse. It's like, come on. Can the stormtroopers hit someone and just make us feel that there is actual tension? Because in that scene when they started shooting and they were missing everything, I was already, oh, this scene is not tense. The most tense scene in this entire episode wasn't a battle at all. It was the interrogation with Thrawn and Hera, and granted, that was a great tense scene, but like, if you have a battle, make it feel tense. Make it feel like they can actually hit something. Now, okay, it's a kid's show. Yeah, okay, sure. And that's also the thing. It's a kid's show, so the episodes are really short, and my god, if there is just one thing I would change about this episode is make it longer and give me more Thrawn. Because that's what I want. After seeing the scene with Thrawn and Hera, I was like, give me more of this. So I really can't wait to see more of him in the rest of the show. I don't know when will be the next time when we see him, but I hope it's pretty soon. So let's speculate about next week, or rather about the next upcoming week. Some of the titles of the next few episodes have been revealed. I will read them. Imperial Super Commandos, Iron Squadron, and the Winkathu Job, however it is pronounced. None of them really say anything about the episode, which is, I think, good, because it keeps a kind of mystery. And I was bitching last week that the Antilles extraction, I was already like, the episode is going to end that Wedge is going to be at the Rebels. You knew that based on the title, so I'm glad that they are not really giving us a lot. The only way for me to know what is going to happen in this episode is to watch Rebels Recon. Every week on the Star Wars YouTube channel, they upload a video called Star Wars Recon, and they give a little bit of a tease of what's going to happen next week. So then you usually know that. So I'd say check that out. I will check it out later myself. Because it's not even up yet. So next week is called The Last Battle, and just like the other titles that I just said, I don't really know what it is going to be about. This is going to be a last battle of what or whom? I don't really know. The only thing, and I'm really hoping this, but this is not based on anything at all. It's just like, it could possibly happen, but don't get your hopes up. If it's the last battle between Obi-Wan and Maul, yeah, that would be amazing. But I don't know, because I don't know anything about next week's episode. But if Maul is going to show up, I really want Maul to show up, because he had that great episode, 2 episodes with the holocrons, and he hasn't been in it for 2 episodes, and I'm like, what happened to him? Because he went off in the shuttle like, he is alive, and I'm like, give me more of that right now. And we didn't get it in this episode and last week's episode, so I'm like, give me that in the next episode, please, because I really want to see what happens there. And if they're not going to give us Maul, then please give us more Thrawn, because after this week's episode, I'm like, Thrawn, he's awesome, he's great, I want to see more of that guy. But we'll have to wait and see. So anyway, that's all I can say about this episode. Now I wonder, what do you guys think of it? Like, did you like this episode as much as I did? Or maybe you had some more issues with it? Please, whatever you think, let me know in the comments below. Look out for my review next week for The Last Battle. And as always, may the Force be with you. And if you've liked this review and you want to see more of my movie, trailer, and Star Wars reviews, click right here.